What is up, everybody? The Saints fan, and today I have the long-awaited money guide as well as some other useful information for you guys after this 1.10 patch. But before we get into the video, I want to announce the winner of the giveaway that we did a couple days ago, and I just want to say that we will be doing more giveaways in the future. It was really fun, and you guys, you guys smashed it. We almost had like 10,000 comments. It was crazy. So anyway, the winner is Francisco Martinez. That was your YouTube name. I sent you a message over YouTube, so check your inbox and message me back. If you do not message me back within a day, I will pick a new winner, so make sure you do that. Also, before we get into the video, I just want to ask you guys, if we could hit over 3,000 likes for this video, I kind of put a lot of time into this video, finding all the missions, testing some stuff out and everything. So if we can get over 3,000, you guys almost hit like 9,000 in the giveaway, so I know you guys can hit over 3,000 just to show your support for this video. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that sort of relate to missions and how to get money before I actually get into the best way to farm money. So the first thing I want to say is that right now, as we speak, until Monday, February 17th, sea races, like races that are in the water, and the reason I'm saying that is because some people in the last video were like, what are sea races? And they put the letter C, like, come on now. But those races give you triple the amount of GTA money. Now, as you're going to see, I did one on the screen, and it's called Canal Passage, and it's about 5 minutes long, and we did it with 5 people, and I wound up finishing in first, and I got $40,000. So if you want to party up with some friends and go do sea races, the longer the better, and you can get a lot of money if you finish first. Now, as you see at the end of the race, some people get about $16,000 to about $10,000 for the ranks underneath one, from 2 to 5. So it's not bad all the way around. The thing is, I don't know if that is the best race. So what I want you guys to do is leave in the comments if you find a really good race. Let everybody know. I will also put a link in the description to a race that's pretty much a straight shot just up the entire left coast of Los Santos. And that one gives around 40k as well. I think that one's only for Xbox though, unfortunately. But again, if you guys find any links or have a race that's Rockstar created that gives you a lot of money coming in first, then definitely do it. Also, with all of these missions and including the sea races, if you do them with friends and with crew members, you get a little bit more RP and a little bit more money. And again, with the sea races, the longer they are, the more money you're going to get. And the more players there are, the more money you're going to get as well. Now, with that out the way, missions after this patch work a little bit different now. As many of you guys know, if you hit start, you go to online, you go to host job, you go to Rockstar created, and then you go to missions, you can find every mission that's in the game instead of before where you can only find about 7 or so, and Coveted was obviously one of those, but now we get access to every single mission. But the way you get access to them, because some people can't find them there, what you got to do is you actually have to play the mission first and complete it before it shows up in your start menu. So if you do not have any of the missions that I talk about in this video, then either you can put your gamer tag in the comment section and you guys can maybe find somebody else who has the mission and sort of work as a community, come together and get everybody money. Or if your friends have it or you know somebody that has it, then you can just play with them and do it that way. Now, although you can get every mission in your start menu, say you're level 40 and you want to play Rooftop Rumble. Rooftop Rumble, you need to be level 75 to actually start. Well, you can kind of start it from the start menu. When you do it, it goes into the menu, but you can't actually hit play. And one thing we kind of noticed as we were testing this, one of my friends started the Rooftop Rumble, but he was only like level 20, and it showed it on his screen when we were in the menu, but when we joined, it actually showed a different mission. So just be careful with that. You don't want to be doing other missions. So I just wanted to clear up something about the missions there, because I know a lot of you guys kept telling me when yesterday I was asking on Twitter if anybody had base invaders, and everybody's like, dude, just go to start menu. Well, I haven't done it before, so I needed somebody else's help to actually get it in my start menu. Now, I just want to say that the gameplay in the background, as you saw at the beginning, I started the mission in Satellite Communications, I think it was called. And at the end, I wound up failing the mission, but you saw when I went to my start menu, it wasn't there. If I would have actually completed this mission, it would have showed up there, but I don't even know how we failed it. I literally rage quit Xbox after I failed that mission because it literally took 30 minutes. As you see, we went from daytime to nighttime, but just wanted to say that just in case anybody was confused watching the gameplay. Now, also after the patch, every mission, when you do it the first time, it gives you double the amount of money that you would get if you just do it over and over. Also, the money depends on if you do it on easy, normal, or hard. Before, it was only RP that mattered on that, but now it is money as well. So, for example, we're going to take Rooftop Rumble. Normally, you would get 18,750 on hard. Well, if you do that the first time, you're actually going to get 37,500 on hard. But if you do it on normal, you're only going to get 15,000 and if you do it the first time on normal, you're only going to get 30,000. So before we get into the actual best missions to farm for money, what I'm going to do is put a picture on the screen, and all of these missions on this picture give you close to $40,000 the first time you play them if you're playing on hard. Now some of them are pretty difficult, I'm not going to lie, so you can, play them and see if they're too difficult for you to actually try or not. But what I would recommend before you actually farm some missions is just play through all of these missions, because if you play through all of them, there's about 10-ish or so, you can get close to like $400,000 just playing those missions alone, which then gets you close to your goal of the Roosevelts. Now if you simply don't want to go through all of those missions, or you've already done them, then there are actually a couple of good missions to farm over and over again. And each one actually has its own pros and cons. One mission is better for RP, where the other one is not so much. But again, it all comes down to personal preference on which one you prefer. Now the two missions I am mainly going to be covering are Rooftop Rumble and the mission Coveted. The first one we're going to cover is Rooftop Rumble, because that's actually my favorite, and then the next one we're going to cover is Coveted, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that one. But again, Rooftop Rumble, this was a big mission that everybody did at the start of GTA Online, and then it sort of got nerfed, and obviously it wasn't in the mission list before, so everybody went to Coveted, but now since it's back, it's one of the main missions again. Now unfortunately, you do have to be level 75, or at least have somebody that hosts a mission be level 75 to play it. But as I stated in the beginning of this video, this mission does pay out 18,750 every time on hard, and the first time it actually pays out 37,500. This also gives you about 4,100 RP, which is about double the amount of most of the other missions that pay out just as much. So this one is probably the best overall mission. Also, on hard difficulty, it is one of the easiest missions that I've played. Basically, all you do to complete this mission is, we did it with 4 people. I mean, it works by yourself, you get the same amount of money, but it is easier with 2, 3, and even 4 people. The old way of blowing up the car does not work anymore, so you don't try that. It's going to fail the mission. But all you need to do is you have one person at the start of the mission call Merryweather to call a helicopter, and then you have the other 3 people or 2 people or whoever else is in your game go kill everybody and get the documents. Now one thing you do want to make sure is you kill the people in the middle around the car with the document first, because sometimes they will drive away and then it's just a pain because you got to chase them down, and that just adds on to the time that it takes to get the money. So just make sure you kill those people first, and by the time the helicopter comes down from the person who called it, and he shoots the pilot out, then everybody will be dead and you can have the documents ready to go. And then basically all you do is you get in a helicopter and then you just fly to the location of Martin's house, and you got to watch the cutscene. And unfortunately now after the patch there is no way to restart a mission by hitting RT or X, so to replay all the missions to an extent, I get more into that in a second when I cover Coveted, but for pretty much most of the missions, the way to restart it, you just gotta go back to free mode, hit the start menu, go to the online mission, and start the job from there. It does take a little bit longer, but you do get a decent amount of money and some good RP. Now you may be saying that why would I buy a helicopter, because the whole point of this is to make money, and when you buy a helicopter you actually lose $1,000. Well, yeah, you could say that, but it is a lot faster than driving a car over there. And what you can do is if you have 4 people, then you can just rotate it every time, so not one person is losing out on $1,000 every time. That's what we did. But it is by far the easiest way, because if you drive a car, like I said, people start shooting at you and you got to worry about hitting other cars and all this other stuff, and it's just a lot more convenient to drive the helicopter. And then as you see at the end of the mission, like I said before, if this is your first time, then you get almost $40,000, and if it's not, then you get about $18,000. So that is Rooftop Rumble, and again, that is probably my favorite mission, but you do have to be a high enough level, or at least know somebody that's a high enough level, which is sort of the downside. Now moving into Coveted, this one is actually pretty interesting. They actually increased the payout when you play it on hard to 18,750, so it pays the exact same amount as Rooftop Rumble, but you get about, I think, only 2,000 or so RP. So Rooftop Rumble does get the point in that category. Also, Coveted is a little bit more difficult on hard because there's more guys shooting at you, there's less cover, and there's more chance of you dying, so that's another downside to Coveted. Also, the way of dropping the container in the water has now been patched, so you actually got to drive it to, I think it's Martin's house to complete the mission. And then again with this one, you can't replay it like we could before with hitting, I think it was either X or the RT button. I forget what button it was, but you can't do any of that stuff. But what you can do, now I haven't done this, but a lot of people through forums that I've read have confirmed this, and I'll leave a link in the description. What you can do is actually make a Coveted playlist or download a Coveted playlist and put it into your game and play it over and over. And what a playlist does is, instead of going to the free room, then starting up a mission again, and go back to the free room and doing that over and over again, it just restarts the mission after about 20 seconds after the mission's over, which that is significantly faster than going back to free room and waiting through all the clouds and stuff like that. So that is the one upside of Coveted. Now, the link in the description is a playlist for, I think it's because you can have 16 different missions in a playlist, and it's just 16 Coveteds over and over again. And I think it's for PS3 only. If I find an Xbox one, I'll link it in the description. If any of you guys find one, just put it in the comment section, and everybody thumbs it up. But a couple people have told me, and although it didn't work for me, it may work for you. After you have done playing Coveted, go to create your own playlist. Go to start online, create playlist, and then go to recently played jobs. And then you can sometimes add it from there. Unfortunately, it didn't show up on my screen, so I couldn't do it. But if it does for you, then, that's awesome. You can just replay Coveted over and over again. And this method with the playlist works for some missions, but not all. It seems to only work for missions that we could play before the patch in the start menu. So that, if you want to play Coveted, is probably the only upside. I mean, again, it comes down to personal preference. You pretty much complete both of these missions in about 5 or so minutes, depending on how fast you go. Also, Coveted is kind of a lower level mission. I mean, it's like 40. So if you don't have Rooftop Rumble and you can't find anybody that has Rooftop Rumble, then obviously Coveted is the mission for you until you get Rooftop Rumble. But like I said, Rooftop Rumble, and I've said Rooftop Rumble like 7 times in the past 10 seconds, it's just so much easier, so much more convenient, and it gives you the same amount of money and a little bit more RP. So in the end, again, personal preference, but those are the best 2 missions at this point in time. If anybody finds out about a secret mission, I may do a follow-up video just explaining a little bit more about some stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this video though. I know it was rather long, but again, I just wanted to clear some stuff up, let you guys know what's happening, what's the best mission. So if we can hit them 3,000 likes, that would be absolutely awesome. Also, before I end this video, I just want to give a shout out to Ratchet Mama, Golden, and Donkeys. They helped me out tremendously last night with playing these missions. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Got some more awesome content coming out. And as always, it's your boy Saints Venom. Peace!